Sumo Deadlift. This exercise is a great movement for building overall total body, maximal strength, power, building all the muscles in the posterior chain, and so much more. So we call this the modified sumo deadlift because it's going to be slightly narrower than the typical sumo deadlift stance, but it's also going to be, for the average person, a bit easier to learn and easier on the body. So what we're going to do, we're going to get set up with a wide stance. So your feet are going to be outside of your arms. The sumo deadlift versus the conventional deadlift, everybody's a little bit different. My recommendation would be train both, experiment with both, see which one is more comfortable for your body type, see which one feels the best, gives you the most leverage and you're most strongest in, and then use one of those when you're trying to actually go for it and lift the most weight. But in your normal training, use both. So the sumo deadlift, you're going to get set up with the bar about right above the middle of your feet. Okay, toes are going to be pointed out. Make sure that you use some kind of guideline, some kind of mark on the bar. So like I know that my shins are just inside, when I set up to do these, they're just inside those rings on the bar, on this bar anyways, and I'm just use that as a guideline when I'm doing my deadlifts to get set up every time. Okay, so first thing you do with this movement is just like we do with all the other exercises, is we practice at the setup. The key to a successful lift is starting the movement and getting set up properly. So your hands are going to come straight down in the bar. Okay, ideally you want to have your arms parallel to each other. Depending on the bar you're using, some women, for example, might actually, getting in that position, if your shoulders are relatively narrow and you're a smaller person, you might have your hands on the smooth part of the bar, which is really not great. As you start pulling more weight, you're going to have no grip. So you might have to get them a little wider so you can at least get a couple of fingers on the knurling of the bar, which is fine. So I'm going to get set up. When I go down to grab the bar, my shins are going to end up touching the bar. So I'm going to get set. Arms are going to be completely straight. I'm going to take the slack out of the bar. My hips are higher than a squat. Okay, my shoulders are pulled down and back. They're right above the bar. If I'm getting set properly, I'm like wedging myself between the floor and the bar. I'm pushing my feet down into the floor. I'm pulling up in the bar. I'm generating tension. It almost feels like that bar is going to fly off the ground. Okay, so I get set. I get wedged into the bar. I'm going to drive my feet through the floor. I'm going to stand up tall. The bar is going to go under control, but you can let it just kind of fall down on the ground. We don't have to be super slow and controlled on the descent. Couple things. You want that bar going straight up and down. Okay, so we don't want to be pulling the bar around your knees. That's an extremely important thing for efficiency and lifting the most weight. As you get stronger, you can change up your grip. Okay, you saw me do double overhand grip. My recommendation is do that for as long as you can until you have to use your mixed grip. At some point, you're pulling enough weight, your grip's going to, most likely, you're going to have to switch. So, as you're warming up, even as you are first learning the movement, use your double overhand grip. As eventually, you can switch up to this grip here, and that's going to just get you much more locked in, cranked in, and you're just going to be a stronger grip. It's harder to, you're just not going to be able to, you're going to be able to lift a lot more weight, and at least your grip won't be the limiting factor when you go to that mixed grip. So there's the basics of your sumo deadlift.